Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm back for our general Sunday reading for the week of June 14th. I've got my rose deck here. I thought I would just do a little bit from 3 decks and do kind of a short, sweet card pull this week. So from our rose deck, it says, trust the seasons, embracing change, cycles of life, transition, growth. And that's a nice message for a new moon. Today's a new moon. Let's do one more rose card. It says, Rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. Rose without thorns. That's lovely. Peace, sweetness of life, and joy. Right? Here with my last cup of tea of the morning. Hey, I'm now pulling from Carrington's deck that I showed off to you guys a few readings ago. It's Arcanum only. Let's see. So for the week ahead, a general card pull. We got the sun, my favorite one. Okay, well, we'll take that, right? That's really lovely with the joy card too. That's a beautiful partnership right there and a beautiful message for the week. And I think we're going to have to really hold a space for that, for the joy. Let's see. We got the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is, sometimes I think of it as like an actual priest. Sometimes I think of it as taking a higher but very traditional road or path, roles, in that regard. So perhaps balancing these two things, perhaps something here will be changing in this regard, or perhaps we're feeling hemmed in. All of this vibrant Leo sun energy here, and then coming up against like our traditional roles and rhythms, and perhaps things are bumping up against each other a little bit. I'll pick one more Arcanum card. We'll see what it says. We got the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, and that is a wonderful companion to trust the seasons, isn't it? Because in both cases, these things are spinning and turning and changing. And we know that nothing stays the same. And perhaps that's how the Hierophant comes into play. Perhaps something is outmoded. Perhaps you realize something. Perhaps you've taken on something that society maybe, quote unquote, dictated to you that you're realizing is getting in the way of your joy or your self-expression or your sun energy. Perhaps it's a thorn in your side, quite literally. Things are changing. Things are moving along here. Our luck, our fortune is shifting too. And so perhaps it is a good week to think about what does give us joy and what would it mean to be a rose without a thorn? And what are we wanting to nurture as things shift and change? What are we wanting to cultivate? So I thought I'd finish with the cutest little teacup deck. I always think this deck has the cutest teacup cards while I'm finishing up my tea. This is Colette Baron Reed's deck, the Dream Weavers, which I always think is pretty cute between the cats and the teacups. It's very Kirsten. Okay, so let's see, deck. What do you want us to know about this week and about the cards we've pulled? Beyond your fears, the Weavers dance. Okay. I If the wild ones come with sticks. One more. When the birds sing gratitude. Okay. And when the weavers built the sun. So there's the sun energy again. And, the sun is always, again, it's joy, it's healing, it's that life-giving, innocent energy that is indicated by, in the weight deck, the little child on that white horse, just completely naked, no shame, just joy, and feeling the warmth of the sun. That's so innocent. So let me find some glasses and I'll do some reading for the Colette Baron Reed decks because, let's see, I want to look up one of these cards. Okay. I like when the weavers built the sun, when the birds sing. So the joy is emphasized here, but maybe a little bit of fear and a little bit of struggle too. So let's see what we can uncover. Card number 30. I want to just check this one out. Let's see. Okay, so that's number 30. Beyond your fears, the weavers dance. So this card indicates the negative effects of prolonged fearful thoughts, moving out of fight, flight, freeze, and being courageous in spite of your fears. So kind of back to that idea of the rose without the thorns. You have a right to your joy, sweetness and peace, sweetness of life and peace. So, I think as the wheel of fortune changes, I think it is natural to feel afraid. A lot of us find change scary. Me too, absolutely. But steadying ourselves and keeping an eye on what the joy is and how does it look as things change is the advice here. Okay, let's read what card number 12 says, and I think this has something to do with the Hierophant energy. If the wild ones come with sticks, negative self-talk, self-criticism, harsh judgment of self and others, or gossip. Okay, so it seems like there's something that is getting in the way of our joy with these two cards, and that is just not permitted. So these are thorns that need to go. They need to go because we have stuff to do here. We have, so this card, number 31, recommends that we find our gratitude again. And I know that's a little bit of a cliche, but it really can be a very powerful thing, especially if you're battling your own fears or some kind of social prescription that you don't want anymore and you know isn't right for you, but it's kind of scary to let go of. Maybe having a notebook of 20 good things that are happening for me right now. 20 things that I made happen with my own creative power. 20 gifts that I possess as far as, I don't know, being good with plants or playing the piano or being good with animals. I bet you can find 20 things as a way of just taking these fears and making them like that small, like even smaller, and minimizing them and putting them back in their place. Look how joyful this card is. And again, like the sun, it's very sweet and innocent. It's just a bird singing. And I think we're probably supposed to be a little bit more like this and not let our joy be ruined by these things, by our fears, our shadows, reading the news. I don't know, like outside influences or other people, curmudgeons in our life. Just say no. Okay, there's one more here. So I wanted to read this one too because I thought it was a really nice compliment to the other sun card that we got. When the weavers built the sun, and then the sun itself. So it's doubly emphasized. The value of dreaming big, success at seemingly impossible tasks. And this card too, like the normal sun arcanum, is like a big fat yes. It's a big healing yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's very positive. And we need to keep our eye on that. But let's see, I'll read a little bit of this in case it inspires you guys. Okay. Legend has it that when the dream weavers built the sun, they created a huge ball of fire so they could see all the miraculous things they wove into being. They needed light, capital L, and more life force energy to flood our world so life could grow and flourish. Their big dream didn't exist before they imagined what it could be. They made it up as they went along, with no plans to follow nor certainty about how to do it. They claimed it energetically and followed the prompts of the conscious universe, their partner. They made an impossible thing real. And right now you're in a similar place. You have a big dream, but you don't yet have the how. Sometimes you question whether it's even possible and wonder if it's not meant to happen at all. Looking at the chaos in the world, you wonder if it's selfish to feel that you deserve any of your desires. But do not give up on your dreams. Something unique that will serve the greater good wants you to call it to life. You were given this idea as a gift from the divine, and it is your mission to forge a new path to bring it here. If you knew the how of it, it would mean that you're not dreaming big enough. Whatever your dream, we need you to begin now. It's time to act. Hold the vision of success, but not too tight, and lean into this greatness, your greatness. Just think of how many you will touch by this action. Trust that you were made for this. Step forward and keep walking, one step at a time, and the universe will open the doors one by one. So you got a double sun this week. I mean, that's pretty cool. And the Wheel of Fortune. So if you've been feeling unlucky, this is a card of changing fortunes. The change energy is now like moving with us, not against us, so you can think about that. Like last week, I think it was, we had the Six of Swords, which I said always makes me think of that Irish saying about the winds at your back, making things easier for you to sail forward. And it's kind of the same with this, like we are turning with the wheel, we're changing with the wheel. So, if there's something that we're outgrowing, perhaps, or that is prescribed that no longer feels like the right medicine for us, I think this is a good time to let it go with these two healing cards, the two suns, and the idea of the rose with no thorns. That's so pure. Again, that idea of purity is all over the reading. The purity of the bird, just singing its song very simply. It's beautiful. And it's almost like by our thoughts, or perhaps being around negative people too, it's almost like we're making things more complicated because what's emphasized here is like very innocent, easy things. Like this child is just a child on a white horse, like soaking up the sun, and this bird is just singing, and the sun is just shining. So, maybe we need to just stop thinking so much or like fighting against like what we want, like what the rose without a thorn, how would that feel? What would that look like? Just maybe let ourselves dream a little bit. Should I pick one more card? And again, we have a rose without thorns, as we know, and then we got trust the seasons, embracing change, transformation, transition, growth. So, cycles of life. So, very many supportive cards. I don't see any cards of warning. I don't see any cards of anything but encouragement here, other than controlling your thoughts. I feel like I should pick one more encouraging. Maybe the rose deck will give us one more little something to go with, to leave with. Sorry, I'm just picking up my rose deck here. Okay, so let me just get one more. And I hope everyone has a beautiful week. And this is looking to be quite a potent reading for a new moon in Gemini. So let's see here. The sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care. So maybe a little downtime to help you to kind of, get your thoughts like in some kind of order so they're not bossing you around so much. I think, didn't we get some cards about harsh thinking last time too? I think we even got the Eight of Swords. So this is kind of the opposite. This is like a very feminine, soft, like reflection energy. No pressure, just soft, sacred waters. Nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care. So I'm hoping this will send you off to have a beautiful and restful and very bountiful good week. And I will be back soon with another reading. Thanks. Bye-bye.